their entire selves to the will of the Creator of the heavens and the earth, Allah. And this word, Muslim, denotes that that person now has become a slave. So when a person invites a non-Muslim, like some of you, to Islam, he or she is actually inviting you not to just become a Muslim, they're inviting you to become a slave. But a slave to whom? A slave to the Creator of the heavens and the earth. If you look at all the other religions, and there are many, many religions in the world, there's Taoism, there's Confucianism, there's Jainism, there's Christianity with so many hundreds, maybe thousands of denominations. There's Judaism with a couple of hundred or few denominations. When you look at the name of the individual, when you look at the name of the individual or the name of their religion, every single one has its origin either in a place, like a town or a village, or some event that happened in history, or it's named after some person. The only religion in the world that the person who practices that religion is connected to the Creator of the heavens and the earth is Islam. Islam meaning to submit yourself to the will of Allah. But the title Christian, the title Jew, the title Hindu, the title Buddhist is connected to some human being. The origin of that word is connected to some human being, that Allah himself created that human being. Or it's connected to some town, or some place, some village, or some tribe, or something like this. Christians call themselves Christians because Jesus is the Christ, and Muslims believe that Jesus is the Christ. We believe this. And some people don't know that we believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Messiah, born of the Immaculate Conception, and that he was sinless. Jews, they have this name because of Judah, because of a tribe. Hindus have the word Hindu, their name, because of that affiliation. And Buddhists, because of Buddha. And we can go on and on, Confucianism, etc. But Muslims and Islam have their name and title of their religion because they're connected to the one who they submit to, who is Allah. They submit to the will of the Creator, and they make themselves slaves to the one who created Jesus, the one who created Moses, the one who created Abraham and Muhammad and the rest of them, and everything that you can see and you can't see. So why should you be a Muslim? You should be a Muslim is because the Creator of the heavens and the earth says in the Quran, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I did not create the jinn, which is a certain kind of creature that he created that we can't see, or the human being, except for one reason, the Creator says, except to worship me. Islam is the only religion. The Muslims are the only people that realize that the reason why they were created is not to win the playoffs. These games, these basketball games. Not to be a basketball player. Allah didn't create us to be nuclear physicists. Allah didn't create us to be carpenters. Allah didn't create us to be plumbers, or beauticians, or sanitation workers, or taxi cab drivers. Allah didn't create the human being to waste his time using drugs or selling their bodies on the street. Allah didn't create the human being to worship things that he created. I'll say that again. Allah didn't create the human being to worship something that he created. He created the human being to worship him who created him. This by itself, dear listeners, is the reason why you should be a Muslim. When you become a Muslim, you are returning to the reason why you created. If you were to ask the average person, dear non-Muslim listeners, ask yourself right now, those of you who are non-Muslim, why was I created? Just think about it. I'll stop for a minute. Think about the reason that you would probably give if I asked you this question one-on-one. Why were you created, Sally, or Harry, or Leroy, or whatever your name may be? Why were you created? I guarantee you You're going to come up with some reason that's connected to this life, and it's not going to help you in the next life. I guarantee you. Whatever the reason you think you're created, it's going to stop at the grave. It's not going to help you in the next life. Oh, I was created to be a good person. I was created to help my fellow man. I was created to be a scientist. Whatever. But the reason why you were created is so that you can worship your Lord. And worshiping your Lord is something that you don't have the choice of doing. You see, it would be unimaginable, non-Muslim listeners, it would be unimaginable for an employer to employ you and let you work in his business and run that business any way you want. Who that has a good business sense and their right mind is going to allow you to work in their business? You get hired from McDonald's, and they're going to allow you to represent, wear the cap and the uniform of Burger King? This is unthinkable. The creator of the heavens and the earth is going to create you. He's going to create me and every human being that he created, and he's going to leave you to worship him the way you want to worship him? It doesn't make sense. So the detailed program of how we are to submit to him and worship him is called Islam. Because every single way of life or religion leads that person to pick and choose how they want to worship the Creator. Even though they have a book. The Jews have a Talmud and the so-called Torah. The Christians have the Bible. The Hindus have their book. But if you look inside these scriptures, or those things that they call the scriptures, you'll find that there are statements of human beings, and you'll find there are statements of not just human beings. You'll find that there are statements that will lead a person to destruction in this life and the next. That goes against the very nature of the human being. For instance, if you're smacked on the cheek, then turn the other cheek. This goes against the very nature of animals, let alone a human being. The very nature of an animal is that if you strike it, it's going to either defend itself by spraying some spray like a skunk, or the porcupines, it will shoot out, those spikes will shoot out, those things will shoot out at you, or if it's a lion, you're really in bad shape, or a pit bull or something like this. The human being is created that if you smack him, the natural reaction is to defend himself. Now here's something that we're saying is from the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Somebody breaks in your house, somebody rapes, may Allah forbid, your wife, and you turn the other cheek and say, no, here, you took my television, here's my refrigerator, here's my washing machine, and if you want my wife again, may Allah forbid, you can have her again. Islam shows the human being exactly how they're to live their lives. Have you ever heard of a religion that for every single act there's a prayer? I've never, and I'm not boasting, I'm not here to boast, but I've read a lot about a lot of different religions in detail. Probably some religions that some of you have never even heard of, like the religion of the people in Australia, the Aborigines in the jungles of Australia, who worship a god called Atnatu. Have you ever heard of a religion, a way of life that has a prayer for every single act? A prayer that keeps you mindful of the Creator. Always calling on the Creator. For the Muslim, he has a prayer for putting on his clothes. He has a prayer for taking off our clothes. We have a prayer when we look in the mirror. We have a prayer when we go to the bathroom. We have a prayer when we come out of the bathroom. We have a prayer when we get in a car, in a boat, in a plane. We have a prayer when we put on our shoes. We have a prayer when we get on a horse. We have a prayer when we get a new job. We have a prayer when we go to the shopping mall. There's a prayer that you're saying before you go into the shopping mall. There's a prayer even when the Muslim is getting ready to have sexual intercourse with their legal wife or husband. There's a prayer. There's a prayer when the baby comes out the mother's womb. There's a prayer for everything. So the person who's a Muslim, who becomes a Muslim, why should you be a Muslim? just for this one aspect of